What's up, everybody? Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today I'm going to go over the Showtime recap from Saturday, March 13th, which was headlined by David Benavidez's return to the ring as he took on Ronald Ellis Jr. So I'm going to get into the undercard first, and we'll start with former world title challenger Terrell Gausha as he took on Javante Clark, who, people thought was going to be, a tough out, based on a couple of the fights that he had, prior. I believe he had a draw with Sebastian Fedora, and he also had scored had a close decision loss, or he lost a decision to Jason Rosario. So, some people thought that, hey, Javante Clark might be a tough out for Terrell Gausha, and man, Gausha might have stole the show. He came out and caught Clark in the second round, caught him hard and put him down, finished him off, and a second round stoppage from a guy that's not a big power puncher in Terrell Gausha. He must have been pissed off about his performance against Erickson Lubin, and he came out firing because he caught Clark, who has taken shots from Jason Rosario, who's a hard hitter, and Sebastian Fedora, who's a tall fighter who can hit hard. So I was just pleasantly surprised by Terrell Gausha's victory, and he might have earned himself a spot back in the top 10 in the wide open super welterweight division. So we'll see how it goes, but pretty strong performance from Terrell Gausha, the former world title challenger, as he tries to climb back up the rankings at 154. Okay, the co-feature saw number one contender at lightweight, Isaac Cruz. Actually, he's the number 2 contender right now, but Cruz took on little-known Jose Romero, but the very much taller than Isaac Cruz, Jose Romero. And Cruz struggled a little bit in this fight, but, Cruz, a grinder, that consummate come forward, throw constant shots, kept coming at Romero, grinding him down. Romero fought hard, though. It went to a decision. One judge had it 114-113, very close. Another judge, I believe, had it 115-112. So this was a close fight. Another judge had it a wide margin, which it shouldn't have been. It was a pretty close fight. I didn't score it myself. I was kind of giving it the eyeball test, watching it as I was going back and forth. And, I could tell it was a good, close, tough battle. I don't have a problem with Isaac Cruz winning. Isaac Cruz coming off his career best win, knocking out Diego Magdaleno in the very first round, impressively. So, we're gonna see how Cruz continues to move forward. He's in line, he's waiting, but he could have put himself in a title position with this win, because Teofimo Lopez, I still am not gonna have Isaac Cruz in the top 10, so I'm gonna get into him a little bit. But Cruz's situation, he might be fighting for a title next, and I'll tell you why. Teofimo Lopez is fighting George Kambosos, defending the undisputed title against him next. Now, Lopez has already stated that he could be moving up to 140 pounds, and that could be happening in his very next fight. He could be done with 135 and decide to move up to 140. We just got to wait and see after the fight with Kambosos. But if that happens, and even if it doesn't, he might be giving up these belts in order to avoid fighting another Kambosos. I think he's fighting Kambosos to hold on to his titles for now, but he might be willing just to start giving away the belts, and because he's already been declared the undisputed champ. He might be willing to give away those belts instead of fighting a guy like Isaac Cruz. And so Isaac Cruz might be able to fight for the vacant title in his next fight. So Isaac Cruz, by continuing to win and being the IBF's number 2 contender right now, really is paying off for him. So it was a nice win, keeps him in the hunt, and like I said, it could lead to another world title it could lead to a world title shot for Isaac Cruz. We'll see. And then the main event, that saw David Benavidez, a former 2-time super middleweight champ, still undefeated, took on veteran but fringe contender Ronald Ellis Jr. And Benavidez pretty much outworked, outboxed, and outclassed Ronald Ellis before stopping him in the 11th round from an accumulation of punches. You know, Ronald Ellis, though, really showed me that he can compete at 168. I was pleasantly surprised by his performance against Benavidez. I expected Benavidez to go in there and destroy Ronald Ellis, and it just didn't happen. I mean, Benavidez was clearly ahead. He was winning the fight on points for sure. But Ronald Ellis was fighting hard and was fighting back. And, you know, he went a lot more rounds than I expected him to go, you know. I really thought that that Benavidez could knock him out and knock him out impressively. And, you know, it just came from an accumulation of punches and him kind of wearing down in the 11th round. But I really thought Ellis was going to go the distance. That's how much I didn't think he was getting hurt in that fight until, you know, the last couple rounds there. So, you know, strong performance by Ronald Ellis. David Benavidez made weight. I'm not sure if the fact that he actually made weight this time kind of drained him. He said he felt fine. You know, but we'll just have to wait and see. I know the WBC declared this as an eliminator, so I don't know if the WBC is gonna give Benavidez a shot next. You know, but I don't believe they will. I think he's gonna have to wait at least until February next year, because Canelo just made his mandatory defense against Avni Yildirim. So, you know, Benavidez might be in a long line. Maybe he fights for an interim belt next. Maybe he gets Anthony Durrell. We'll discuss his what's next later in the week. But, you know, not a bad performance for Benavidez, but I expected more, and we'll see. You know, it was also against an opponent he didn't really have to worry about. So really don't know if this was just Benavidez not at his best or if Ronald Ellis is just better than we thought. But we got to wait and see until Benavidez gets back in the ring, and Ellis, and we'll go from there. But it was a decent card on Showtime on the 13th. You know, but that's the recap. Hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.